This is the weekend edition of Ifiber One News, where we present some of the top stories from this week and your weekend weather forecast. I'm Bethany Jenks. Stay tuned for the weekend edition of Ifiber One News.
From the Ifiber One HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is Ifiber One News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is Ifiber One News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories for this week was about the new Boys and Girls Club facility that's expected to open by this spring in Moses Lake. Reporter Jeff Chu took a tour of this building and has the story.
A $3 million building that will house the new Boys and Girls Club of the Columbia Basin should be ready to open this spring. Brant Mayo, the club's executive director, said exterior work on the new club is complete and finished work should begin next week on the interior. The 10,700 square foot new building with Park Orchard Elementary School's gymnasium and facilities added for use next door will bring the club's total space to 20,000 square feet. That will boost the club's ability to serve more children.
Currently we're seeing about 225, 250 kids a day at both locations, and yeah, we've grown, we've more programming, more staff, yeah, and again, probably the last 5 years, or 5 or 6, well, actually most of the time I've been here, we haven't gone out and recruited kids actively because we just haven't had the space for them. So yeah, with this new facility, I think we're really going to explode and probably be pushing over 300 kids a day.
The building, which matches the design of Port Orchard Elementary, will replace the downtown club, which has long been too small to meet the growing demand for youth programs. The club is leasing the land next door to the school from Moses Lake School District.
You know, it's been a long process for us, from a feasibility study done about 5 years ago to where we currently are today, about 8 weeks away from completion here. We actually had some other ideas we were vetting. We know we needed a bigger clubhouse, some space for the kids. We're downtown on 3rd Avenue. We have no outdoor space. We have no activity space. Parking's tough. Getting kids dropped off in the street is tough. So it just isn't the safest environment.
The club still seeks about $200,000 in grants and donations to pay for the finished building.
We're still a couple $100,000 short. We have some financing arranged so we can finish the project, but you know, we're still trying to kick over some rocks and find that last little bit.
Rooms for children to study, play games, and eat were sponsored by local charitable organizations and corporations.
The community's been amazing. A lot of the service organizations in town have sponsored rooms. You know, we're in the Moses Lake Lioness room right now. The Kiwanis have done the art room. Rotary's done a section. Sir Optimus has been involved in this. Paul Lozier Foundation is doing the educational center. Simplot and National Frozen Foods are doing our kitchen area. REC's doing a section. And also some private donors that have really stepped up and made a huge impact on the youth of the community.
Even the local contractors and workers have helped minimize building costs.
Had a lot of local subcontractors be very generous in their bids in us, so you know, it's been taking a little longer to get some of it done just because, you know, they get a nice paying job and so they need to step off this for a couple days because they are being generous to us and our kids.
Mayo said an event is planned when the new club opens this spring.
So hopefully late this spring we'll have our big grand opening and start seeing kiddos here.
I'm Jeff Chu for Ifiber One News.
More than 600 people turned out for the annual Business Expo in Moses Lake this week that featured more than 60 exhibitors. Reporter Jeff Chu was there and has the story.
More than 600 people attended the annual Moses Lake Chamber of Commerce Business Expo on Tuesday at Big Bend Community College. Chamber of Commerce Executive Director Debbie Duran Martinez explained why the event has become so popular.
It's just the opportunity to do face-to-face networking. We're theming the events. It's making them fun. People are coming out, having a great time, networking with one another. Again, that face-to-face connection is huge because we do business with who we know.
Martinez said more and more vendors have joined the event in recent years.
It has grown from probably, I think the first year I took it over, we had about 24, so that was 7 years ago. So it's grown almost 3 times. We're, 62 now.
The event's superheroes theme drew some dressed for the occasion, including Mrs. Moses Lake Tiffany Veres. She was promoting her Chamber for Good effort, which connects donors to the community.
It's awesome. There's a lot of people. It's starting to really pick up. It's going to be a great event.
The event at the college's ATEC building featured music DJ'd by KDRM-FM radio general manager Bill Ekret. It also featured Columbia Basin-produced wines. I'm Jeff Chu for Ifiber One News.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.